the state senator-elect Randy Fine, who's joining us right now on Florida's Voice. I don't know if I'm the first, sir. I'm not sure if on the air I'm the first one to say it, but I'm going to make believe because I just want to believe that that's the case. Anyway, congratulations. How are you, sir?
I'm great, and I think that may be true. But I always tell people you don't get any more important than anybody else just because you get one of these titles. You just borrow them for a few years. So it's an
Yeah,
honor to be.
yeah, absolutely. Wow. All right. So talk about your win. Talk about some of what has been going on. And I do want to ask a question regarding some of the things even that have happened since Donald Trump. I mean, obviously, we haven't had a chance to talk about the election, but boy, it's amazing how when leadership is about to change, how people around the world are like all of a sudden changing their tune on certain things. It's been remarkable. But first of all, maybe about the race itself.
Well, look, I was thrilled. I won by almost 20 points, almost 60-40. I've never won an election, a general election, by that amount. So I thought that was a real statement that my constituents like what I've done and want me to do it in the future. And I'm excited about this next chapter, going from representing about 30% of Brevard County to 90%. And that should be exciting. And I'm ready to go. I'm dressed like this because you put your family to the side to some degree when you're running, but my son's got a crew regatta, so you caught me in up here in Georgia getting him ready for that.
Oh, nice. A crew. Well, tell me about that. A crew regatta. What's that? What's
My
going on
son's
there?
a my son's a varsity rower, so I don't know
Nice.
where he got athletic skills. It wasn't from me. I was more of an athlete than an athlete, but he's a really talented rower, and we're up here in Augusta, not for golf, but so he can do a regatta this weekend.
Oh, nice. That's how I feel about my son. My son plays golf. He's doing really well. He's 16. He's got like a six handicap, so he's doing really well. I don't know a whole lot about golf. I like to watch it, and I like to watch, but he definitely didn't get any golf chops from me.
Well, I also owe him. I was in Palm Beach for President Trump's victory on Tuesday. I thought that was an important thing to do. So I actually had my son give my victory speech for me in front of 700 people in
Wow.
Brevard County. When I asked him to do it, I thought he'd say no. He said he'd do it. He asked me to write him up a few sentences. I did. And he comes to me and he goes, Dad, this sucks. I'm not used to getting a reaction like that to speeches that I write. So I said, well, why don't you write something? He did and really gave a breathtaking 3 minute speech that my phone blew up with people saying, man, we need to get rid of you and have your son take over. So I'm really,
Nice. That's,
yeah.
but that's awesome. As long as, well, yeah, I was gonna say nobody else saw what you wrote. All they know is what he said. So it's like, I guess that's
Oh, what he wrote's
it's something.
great. I mean,
Yeah, that's
he
what I'm
talked
saying. He
about,
was amazing.
yeah.
Unfortunately, apparently, according to him, what you wrote wasn't that great. I'm sure
No,
it
I
was
guess
awesome.
trying to write for a 16-year-old is not the easiest thing in the world. So I'm glad
Yeah.
he said it.
No, that's awesome. So, as we talk about, obviously, the excitement of what's going to happen there and representing the 90% there in Brevard and all the things that you will be able to do. And obviously, with session right around the corner, I can't even believe we're saying this. It's amazing how you just snap your finger, and next thing you know, we're talking session, we're talking committees, we're talking all of these things that are going to be happening shortly as we're getting ready for that. But I did want to ask you about this because I mentioned it as you came on, but I'm very serious about it. All the things that have happened in the 48 plus hours since the election of Donald Trump globally, including people who all of a sudden want ceasefire, people who all of a sudden want to talk peace, people all of a sudden who want to stop doing things. It's pretty remarkable. Why couldn't that happen before? Well, the answer is obvious, but maybe you can speak to some of that.
Well, look, it was very clear that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris supported Muslim terror. I mean, they were Iran's biggest backers. And so it's not surprised that when daddy's coming home and you're going to have to get serious that the world changes. It's amazing. Today Qatar said the Hamas terrorists, they got to get out. That's something we've wanted since October 7th and frankly before. But no one was afraid of Joe Biden and they know Donald Trump's coming and they don't want the wrath that will ensue. So there's that. There's the Houthis saying we're going to stop shooting at ships. I mean, people know that American strength is coming and they don't want to be on the wrong side of that.
When you look at the election and what took place, and you see the numbers not only in the state, because I mean, remarkable. Because there is a time when people talk about numbers and talk about what could be, and then there's a time when you deliver on them, and it's real, it's tangible. It's not just something that's in a poll or something that's out there that's being discussed. When you see the kind of numbers that we saw here in the state and across the country, you got to say this is mandate time. You have to say that the things that we will see moving forward are of what the American people spoke of through their vote. There's no other way to look at this.
Yeah, it's unquestionably a mandate. Winning the popular vote for the first time in a very long time, winning the popular vote as a non-incumbent may have been the first time in 40 years that a Republican did that. And look, some of these mandates are obvious. Hey, guess what? Americans believe the southern border should be secure. Hey, guess what? Americans think you shouldn't cut the body parts off of 13-year-old girls. Hey, guess what? Americans think girls shouldn't play or boys shouldn't play girls' sports. These were things that everyone believed 10 years ago. And unfortunately, a small part of the Democratic Party went crazy and then dragged the whole thing down with it. And I think that's a big part of why we got the results that we got.
Yeah, it's it's incredible how someone on the left don't get it still. Like I've got a piece of audio that I'm getting ready to play from a New York Times reporter who was on the Daily Show last night, who's saying they think that they should double down on all of it. They just can't.
I hope they do, because New York will become a play. Look, I often say to my colleagues that conservatives live in the world the way it is, and liberals live in the world the way they wish it was. You know what? If we let boys play girls' sports because they think they're a girl, no girl's going to get hurt because that's how I want it to be. If we have an open border, no terrorists or bad people are going to come through, just good people, because that's how I want it to be. They just don't live, they live in a world of sunshine, rainbows, pixie dust, and unicorns. They just don't live in reality. And that's why, these, when they have to live with their own policies, like you see with sanctuary cities, all of a sudden they don't want them. Think about what happened in Martha's Vineyard when those 15
Right.
illegals showed up. Oh my God. They just don't live in the real world. And if
Yeah.
they want to double down on their fantasies, then go right ahead.
And I might say that even what they are claiming to want to double down on, and what Donald Trump was talking about during the election and the things that he was articulating about what he wanted to do, and then people ended up voting for what he said. You could make the case it's the same for you. Look, the numbers and the people that voted
Yeah.
for you, they know exactly where you stand. There
Yeah.
was nothing. I'm pretty sure that there isn't anything about you that is kind of wishy-washy, or I'm not really
No.
sure where he stands. Everybody knew exactly where you stood, and they made a choice by their vote for you, which clearly is again something that drives some on the left crazy because they don't understand what happened here, whether it's you or Donald Trump or other Republicans. Like you said something, and I voted for them, those individuals like you, and they expect you to do what it is that you articulated you're going to do.
Yeah, it's actually more than what we believe. It's how we pursue those beliefs. In
Hmm.
Brevard County, the people who voted for me, they not only know what I believe, they know that I'm a fighter and I'm a
Yep.
brawler and I will fight aggressively. I am not a diplomat. I'm not afraid to punch. And 60% wanted that. It's the same with Trump. It's not just what he believes. They wanted a president that the world would respect and fear. And it's not just beliefs, it's how you comport yourself in office. And whether it's me in Brevard County or Donald Trump on a much larger scale, they not only want our views, they want us to operate the way we've shown them that we will.
All right, Senator-elect. It was great to see you. Always fantastic to have you on the program, and hopefully we'll get a chance to catch up soon. Okay. All the best.
Anytime. Thanks for having me.
All right. We'll see you soon. God bless.